Wow, only a fraction of Bitcoin has moved in the year 2020. What does that mean for Bitcoin? And out of all of those dormant coins, how many of them have been lost forever, potentially, possibly, permanently increasing the value of all Bitcoin existence for the rest of eternity? Wow, and breaking as of right now, we're actually going below this ascending triangle support right around 91.20, and as I'm filming this, we're at 91.75, guys. Will this continue? In fact, could we finally see this move? We'll show you the exact targets to the downside for this move. And as well, on this 4-hour chart, we are clearly in some sort of descending channel ever since the very beginning of June. So over an entire month, we've been within this gigantor descending channel. This is absolutely huge. We'll show you the exact target of the bottom of the channel, the top of the channel, and if it were to break either one of these sides, just how big the plummet or the blast off would be. And as well, Bitcoin actually, as you can see, falling below our absolute lowest line of this 3-month channel. We've been talking about this holding support. However, as we said, if we break this support, okay, we had the close yesterday around 92.30, and currently we're actually about almost $200 below that. If we get a close here or continue to plummet throughout this daily candle, we'll show you what targets we have to the downside, because boy, it could happen really fast and we could finally see that return to volatility, and we can see some explosive volume on these charts. And as well, yesterday we were in a nice green weekly candle halfway through. Now with only a few days left for this weekly candle, it looks as though maybe our interpretation is correct. And as we've been saying for weeks, we could be curving down like this. We'll talk about what levels we need to watch out for on these charts. And wow, this on-chain activity is very important here, provided by Glassnode, so we'll be getting into that as well. Wow, you know what they say, milky lemonade, let's get this crypto so we can get paid. Wow, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to an extremely Thursday webisode. We have a lot to get into in this webisode, like we do in every webisode. Could we be entering one of the most volatile periods for Bitcoin that we've seen in months? I definitely think it's right on the horizon there, guys. So we have a lot to get into in regards to TA, as Bitcoin's price is currently falling, and we will have to see what targets we have to the downside, upside, and then we're going to be taking a look at some on-chain metrics as well. But guys, as of today, for a limited time only, if you go onto Ledger's website, clicking the link in the description or the comments, and you just vote on your favorite crypto, you can get 20% off a Ledger Nano X. Not the Ledger Nano S, but the newest version, the Ledger Nano X. So all you have to do is click the link in the comments or description, and then you literally just vote on what your favorite cryptocurrency is. They have, I believe, about 79 79 listed on their site. You just pick one, you vote, and you can get 20% off a Ledger Nano X. And this is limited time only. So guys, if you're interested, make sure to check out the comments in the description. You can use the link there. And as well, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, ding, turn on the post notifications, and we can jump right into this webisode. Wow, so as you guys can see, we broke this lower trend line right above the $9,100 level. Would not be the first time. Okay, so I mean, this obviously is not a clear break yet, and as well we can see on this chart, I'll show you other charts that line up as well, but we are again testing the very bottom of this, which makes it more and more likely that the momentum again wants to push us down here. So we spent quite a bit of time, already over 2 months, in this potential ascending triangle, and I'm not convinced one way or the other just because we broke this trend line right here so far. However, we're going to be taking a look at other charts that line up with this, and as well, the volume has not indicated anything significant as well. It's one of the biggest indicators I think you should look at with a breakout, obviously, is the volume. Especially with some of these longer patterns, like a 2-month pattern, without a doubt, you'll see increased volume if we actually get a valid breakout. In this descending channel, you can see on the 4-hour chart I have here on Gemini, currently we're trading around a little over 9,000 US dollars. So to the downside, the bottom of this channel actually perfectly lines up with some of these longer time frame daily and weekly charts. It has right around the 8,700, but roughly like the 8,800, so that $100 range there. And the top is no coincidence the 9,400 USD level, which 9,400 is absolutely massive. The 9,400 is exactly where this 2.5-year resistance is on these longer time frame charts. So this line right here correlates perfectly with this line on these charts. And as well, the 9400 is exactly where the 21 and 50-day moving averages are. Getting a little cross a few days ago. Again, pretty insignificant, I think. But could we actually be forming, finally, this almost 10-month, when it's all said and done, inverse head and shoulder? So 88 is the bottom of this box, 92 is the top. We're not going to go anywhere unless we get a significant break below this box. Okay, if we break 8,800, I definitely think, guys, as I've been saying for weeks and weeks and weeks, we're going to be going much lower, but we've been unable to do that. Could we be finally coming down here? We'll have to wait and see. So far, it looks pretty stagnant still. It doesn't look like price action is doing much just yet. However, as you can see, guys, we're slowly continuing to inch down. If we break below 9,000, come to 88, which is right about here on this chart. If we break below this, then I think we're going to go to the low 8,000s. And as well, this is the most significant in my opinion. Breaking out of this 3-month channel is significant. We've been trading within these lines for 3 months ever since the March 12th catastrophe. So without a doubt, I definitely think we're going to be having a significant pullback if this trend continues. What I want to look for is the daily close. This could happen a lot faster than I think a lot of people expect, but if we get a daily close at least below 9,200, then I think we're going to be going lower throughout the week. And currently, we are pretty low. Currently, we're just above 9,000. And guys, that confirms this trend, which is still continuing. Now, to the downside, there is one area I think it's important to note. I think the 21-week moving average is probably the most important. We have the 50-week here, which is actually perfectly lining up with the bottom of this box that we've been stuck in for months, over 2 months, almost 2.5 months. That 50 moving average lines up perfectly with that, and that's around the 8,700, which again, the 8,700 is exactly where the bottom of this channel is. So breaking 88 is important. That's the chart we have on here, but specifically we have a little wiggle room. If we hold 87 or wick down as we did back in May of 2020, as long as we wick at 87, then again, that's still completely bullish. But if we wick down to 87 and continue to go lower, then I definitely think this pattern, we're going to be seeing something like this. We're going to be seeing something similar on this chart. We're going to come down to at least probably 82 or 8,300. On this chart, you're going to see a pretty big break, and we're going to go out of frame on this chart. We're actually probably in my opinion, probably going to go down to maybe this line, specifically down to this 200-day moving average right around 8,300. So basically, if we break the 88 or 87.50 level, I think we're going to be going down to this 200-day moving average. And that's with the 200 daily moving average being one of the most important daily moving averages. The 21-week moving average is at the exact same spot. And in my opinion, that's probably the top 2 most important weekly moving averages. So we have an incredibly important weekly moving average at the exact same spot that an incredibly important daily moving average is, right at that 8,300 USD level. Now, that's why I have this green box here, because anything in this area, in my opinion, is probably one of the best buys you're going to get, maybe for the rest of Bitcoin's history. From here on out, I have this box in here because, in my opinion, this might be one of the best buy zones for Bitcoin, which again correlates to different altcoins prices as well, percentage-wise, for potentially the rest of Bitcoin's history. If we actually enter that bull market, the real bull cycle of the last quarter, the last 2 quarters of this year, then without a doubt, this will be, in my opinion, probably maybe the best scenario, the best buying opportunity there is for Bitcoin that exists from here on out. And again, that is between like the $75,000 and the $8,000 level. Altcoins would drop significantly as well if Bitcoin did head towards this level. But ideally, that would also play in perfect to this inverse head and shoulders. We don't necessarily have to go all the way down to the $6,000 level. Imagine the setup if we did go to the low 7,000s or the very, very top of the 6,000s. I think everybody would be seeing this pattern on the chart, and I think a lot of people would be very much on board with this most likely being the pattern to watch. And I think that without a doubt would give us all the juice we need to finally break and create some higher highs on these longer time frame charts. Absolutely very big. Now, if we switch to this here, I want to show this posted by Raphael Schultz-Kraft. He is the CTO of Glassnode, okay? And so he posted this chart of 4 different charts here. He says, hourly new addresses hit a 2-year high. The hourly active addresses hit a 1-year high. Hourly transaction count, 10-month high. And the hourly spent outputs with lifespan 24 hours at an all-time high. And you can see that right here. Very significant, I think. Some people think that indicates a top, so they're saying maybe a pullback is coming afterwards. And then he also tweeted this: only 27% of Bitcoin's circulating supply has moved this year. 73% of all Bitcoins, okay, have been dormant since before this year. Now, it is important to note, guys, there is roughly estimated at least 1 million Bitcoin that probably is lost forever, whether it's, in people's wallets or computers that they no longer have because they didn't think Bitcoin would be valuable. There are horror stories of that have been plastered over the internet for years now. People going to landfills to try to dig up their Bitcoin because they lost it. Okay, imagine that. Or even leave a comment if that was you. That would be insane if we could hear a story about that. People having maybe 10,000 Bitcoin that was, pretty much worthless at a certain time, and now they would be incredibly, incredibly wealthy if they had that Bitcoin. In fact, there are many, many stories of people who have lost large amounts of Bitcoin permanently that can never be retrieved. So many of you are probably aware of that, but for anybody that's entered the space recently, that might be something that's shocking to you, is that some people have lost out on millions and millions and millions of dollars because they lost their Bitcoin, or they threw it away, or they forgot their keys or something. They lost access to it. So that is a real reality. It's estimated at the very least, probably 1 million Bitcoin is actually lost. And a lot of people speculate actually between 1.5 million and 3.5 million Bitcoin to be lost. And this is actually according to Raphael himself right here, the CTO of Glassnode. So guys, huge. We definitely have those downside and upside targets, and specifically some of that on-chain data is incredibly interesting. But this is the chart I'm watching the most right here, this ascending triangle, to see if we actually break out of this, because remember, we have these two scenarios, this on the shorter time frame here, and then this longer time frame, more bearish first and then bullish scenario. These are the two scenarios I've been watching for about a month and a half now, very closely. And if we break out of this one concretely, which we could see over the next day or two, then most likely, I definitely think this could become a reality, and this would be very, very big. So huge, guys. Make sure as well to take advantage of 20% off the Ledger Nano X. Huge limited time sale. Awesome hardware wallet. I have one of those, and as well I use a bunch of Ledger Nano S's as well. But this is the more expensive one, and you can get 20% off. This is their first sale of something like this in a long time. And as well, guys, if you're looking for a new place to buy crypto, check out the crypto.com app. Over 40 different currencies you can access on there. You guys have been loving it. I've been hearing a lot of good feedback about it. And yeah, definitely make sure to check it out.